What's going on, everybody? Good morning. We are here on game day, Seattle Seahawks game day. Although we don't get our game for some time, we got the night game tonight, so we are still a ways away from kickoff, but we got a kickoff tonight nevertheless. And we got a little bit of news last night that I obviously didn't make a video about yesterday, but it's certainly newsworthy enough to discuss before the game starts. So let's go ahead, make a video discussing mainly this, although there is one other thing I want to mention later in this video that I think is noteworthy to any Seahawks fans. So let's just go ahead and start with the thing that is right in front of us, which is tonight's game. Cooper Kupp, per Adam Schefter, is considered unlikely to play. So obviously we knew about the hamstring injury. We knew that his status got worse as the week went on. So it's not surprising, but there it is. Be right back. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you guys about Sleeper. I'll tell you a little secret as well. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users have enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there's so much more to it. You have live stats, real-time updates of all stats. You have a news feed with lightning-fast updates on players and teams, and a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about plays, performances, games, all kinds of stuff during the sports season. So download Sleeper, experience it for yourself, and don't forget to use my promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, and pair that with their new promo that will give you a free $20 entry, no deposit needed. So you can use both of those promos. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and going. So check out Sleeper today and use those promos. Welcome back. So yeah, probably no Cooper Kupp tonight. If there's any, if it's a close call, I would assume that we hold him out. Remember, Cooper Kupp is an older player. Cooper Kupp is a player that has missed a good amount of time over the last few seasons. And I imagine that you're always going to want to try to play it safe with a guy like that. And you know you can probably survive a game without him. At the end of the day, while he's been fine for the Seahawks so far this season, I don't think there's a sense that he's irreplaceable. Although this is bad timing, I'll grant you. This is not the time for this injury to come up because of the injury to Bobo and Derek Young. But I do think that there is a belief that this team can survive being thin at receiver for a game or two. And let's face it, we all knew Kupp was going to miss some games this year. When the Seahawks signed Cooper Kupp, I think we all mentally went, okay, if we can get 13 games out of him, that's great. If we can get 11 games out of him, that should be kind of the middle ground. So really, the fact that we're here in game number 8 and we're finally getting what is probably going to be Cooper Kupp's first missed game of the season, we're actually doing pretty well. Again, the timing is bad, but this is a Seahawks team that is fully capable of going light at receiver for a game or two. Obviously, this means that everything is on JSN's shoulders as far as receiving production goes. I saw a stat that if Cooper Kupp is out, JSN accounts for about 90% of the receiving production that this receiver core has. That of the players that will actually be out there on the field, because Bobo and Young are also out. But this team can survive that. This team has depth at tight end. They've got multiple tight ends they're comfortable using. Although, and this again goes back to the bad timing thing, Saubert is also going to be out for a while, so we're not as thick at tight end as we would like. Still have guys we can play. Still have things we can do. We have multiple running backs. We have a fullback, and he's back now. So expect to see a lot of Robbie Oots, a lot of Elijah Arroyo, and we're just going to try to get through this game. We're going to probably run the ball, maybe even a little bit more than we typically do, and we're going to try to be that low-volume, high-efficiency passing attack that we've been for most of the year, just maybe even more so. So, yeah, don't expect Cooper Kupp tonight, and again, this is kind of the deal that you make when you sign a Cooper Kupp. You know he's not going to give you all 17 games. All right, so that's mainly what's going on here. You got JSN, you've got Torrey Horton, and then you've got Cody White, Ricky White. It's going to be tough, but I think that Kubiak is uniquely equipped to get through a game light at receiver. Okay, so that's the stuff tonight. Real quick, I do want to talk about this upcoming trade deadline because it is just a couple days away now. Because Adam Schefter also talked a little bit about the Seahawks with regard to this upcoming deadline, specifically about the availability of Boye Mafe and Reek Woolen in a trade. So I'm not going to get into the whole article here, but Schefter talks about it at length. And what he basically says is that it doesn't seem like the Seahawks want to trade either player, which on a fundamental level makes sense, right? If you are a good team that is going for it, on some level, you don't want to give up players. Unless you're in a unique position like the Patriots, where you had a couple of interesting players that didn't fit your scheme, you don't really want to be giving up players. Now, I think there's an argument to be made that Reek Woolen doesn't really fit Mike McDonald's scheme, but it's not like we have an overabundance of corner talent. So if this team is going for it this year, which to some extent they need to be, I mean, they're 5-2. They lead the division by a tiebreaker at the moment. So on some level, they're going for it. You don't want to be giving up players for picks because the picks can't help you right now. And you want things that can help you right now. And whatever you think of Boye Mafe, whatever you think of Reek Woolen, they can help you right now more than a pick can. So, makes sense. Schefter did mention that it is still possible that a team gets really aggressive and makes a really good offer for Mafe or Woolen, and something could still get done. But he seems to believe it is unlikely anything happens. Now, as for what Seattle might be trying to take on, because there have been articles and rumor mill things written about what the Seahawks might be pursuing at the trade deadline. It's there have been multiple reports the Seahawks are trying to find some interior offensive line help, which, I mean, that's the obvious one, right? But I haven't seen any names necessarily directly connected to the Seahawks yet, so I don't know exactly who they're going after, and I don't know who is actually realistic. Like, I talk through all the scenarios. I can talk about guys like Jackson Powers Johnson. I can talk about guys like Kevin Zietler. I can talk about guys of that level, Cesar Ruiz, whoever. But at the end of the day, just because it makes sense for the team to be trading them doesn't mean they're actually going to get traded. And that's one thing that I really try to get people to understand when talking about this trade deadline. This is not a buffet, right? It's not like there's an infinite supply of food being brought out and you can just take whatever you want from anywhere. This is what you see is what you get. And if you don't like what you see, then you just don't get anything. So whatever we can do to make this team better, I'm for. And there are many different ways to do that. So I will admit the offensive line thing makes the most sense, but that doesn't mean the opportunity is there for you to actually make it happen. So that's what's going on with the trade deadline stuff. Let's get through tonight first, and then we've got tomorrow and a little bit of Tuesday to think about this, and we'll see what happens. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks.